What's up internet, I'm Manish from RebellionRider.com and I'm back once again with another SQL tutorial. And today we will learn about user privileges in Oracle database, which is a very important topic. As we know that every user in Oracle database needs some rights to perform any task. These tasks can be anything. For example, to execute any SQL statement or to access the object owned by any other user or to run any PL SQL package and many more. So to define a user privilege in Oracle database, we can say a user privilege is the right to run a particular type of SQL statement or the right to access an object that belongs to another user or run a PL SQL package and so on. There are two types of user privileges in Oracle database. First is system privilege and second is object privilege. Okay, system privilege. System privileges are some powerful special rights given to a user to perform standard administrator tasks in the database. These tasks can be any action on any schema object, for example, create and drop a user or table space, flashback or lock any table, and export as well as import the database and many more. As I mentioned before that system privileges are quite powerful set of rights, therefore when in wrong hands they could result in catastrophic event. Hence these should be granted very responsibly and only when absolutely necessary. As they say, with great power comes great responsibility. Object privilege. Object privileges are the right given to a user to access and perform some action on database objects or the objects owned by some other user in the database. By objects I mean tables, view, sequences, procedure, etc. And by action I mean alter, delete, execute, select, update, reference, insert and index. Object privileges vary from object to object and an owner of the object has all the privileges on its objects. Now, how to grant and revoke the user privileges? To assign and deny the user privilege, we have two data control language statements in Oracle database. These are grant and revoke. Grant and revoke data control language statements help you in granting any kind of privileges to any role or user. Incidentally, with the use of revoke statement, you can revoke any privilege from a role or a user. I will be explaining you both these grant and revoke data control language statements with all the tips and tricks in detail in my next video, so keep watching. Now, the next question is, who can grant or revoke a system privilege? The most powerful administrative user in the database, sys, can grant and revoke any privilege from any user or role in the database. And the second one is a user with the system privilege grant any privilege. And the third one is any user who were granted a specific system privilege with the admin option. All these users can grant and revoke any privileges from any user or a role. In Oracle database, we have three options or say flags which we can use along with the grant statement and add some flexibility to this privilege management. And these three options are with admin option, with grant option, and the third one is with hierarchy option. Now, with admin option flag enables the grantee to grant the privilege or role to another user or role unless the role is global role, and revoke the privilege or role from another user or role, and alter the privilege or role to change the authorization need to access it, and drop the privilege or role. You can use with admin option while granting system privileges only. Now, with grant option. With grant option enables the grantee the power of granting object privileges to various other users. A tip for you. Also, it is important to remember that with grant option flags only assist in granting a privilege to public or user and not to a role. Okay, now the third one with hierarchy option. With hierarchy option flags enables the grantee to grant particularly specified object privilege to every sub-object of an object. For example, sub-views that are created within a view. This particular clause works only when used in combination with the select object privilege. For more in-depth knowledge of the concept and for the security guidelines recommended by Oracle, you can read my blog, link is in the description box. That's it for today's guys. This is the first video in the user privilege in Oracle database series. I did this introduction to user privilege SQL tutorial video for the better understanding of the concept and the upcoming videos. Hope you enjoyed watching. In my next video, I will explain you the system privileges with tips and tricks in detail. Till then, stay tuned and hit the like button if you like this video. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and be the first one to watch my next video. We'll see you soon guys. Signing off for today. This is Manish from RebellionRider.